Welcome to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by Slumberland at the Lake, our veterinary, and Sir Dyke Yamaha. And we have to thank the great folks at Firefly Valley Farms for our incredible coffee today with the coaches. So our coach today is a new face from Versailles, Tigers' first-year head coach, Josh Walters. Coach, thanks for coming by and joining us. Appreciate it.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah, okay. So you take over the Versailles program this year, your first year as head coach, off to a pretty good start. When you got the news that you were taking over for Jason Ollison, what was that like? Was that like greatness or a little scared?
Well, he talked to me a little bit. We knew he put his name in to go up to Lincoln, and he talked to me and said he thought I'd do a good job with it. And I have confidence in myself that I can do a good job with it too. And he's done a great job helping me go get where I need to be and working with him the last 5 years. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting time for me and my family and the kids and everything. So.
Excellent. And you're a Versailles guy, right? I mean, it's not like you're coming in from somewhere else. You've been at Versailles pretty much your whole life, I think.
Yeah, I went to school there, played basketball, football there. I teach there. That's the only place I've taught, so it's been a good time and excited to be there. Love that place. And
yeah. So what was your journey to get there? Have you always coached in your career at Versailles, or were you somewhere else and came back?
Well, after I graduated, I went to State Fair, and then going to school there, I kind of was bored a little bit, so I went and asked my old head coach or old assistant coach at that time, he ended up being the head coach, if I could volunteer for him. So I did that in football.
Yeah.
And I spent, I want to say 5 years coaching football with him at the varsity level and JV level. Then I needed to finish up schooling at Warrensburg, so I was driving back and forth all the time. So I kind of took a year off and got a para job at Versailles and did middle school football when I got back, when I first got hired there.
Yep.
And then I worked 1 year under Coach Kent Thomas when he was the head coach there at middle school basketball. And then worked my way up, and now here I am.
Boy, you've got some good coaches over there, Coach Seitz, and just some wonderful people. So in years past, in recent years anyway, under Coach Ollison, it was a run and gun, man, million miles an hour kind of an offense. I think Coach Ollison wanted them to put up like 80 shots a game.
Yeah, it was a lot. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there was no bad shot. Is that your philosophy? Are you carrying that on?
To a degree, we are. We don't have the same number of guys that we can throw in the game like we've had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
When we first started doing that, we had 15 or so guys that were all about the same players, so we could rotate in 5 guys at a time. Last year, we let guys play a little bit longer just because their stamina was up and they were able to do that. But the whole idea was the more shots you take, the more opportunities you have to score, right? So,
yeah.
So it's kind of the same idea. We have to be a little bit more conscious about our shot selection now. We don't have as many guys to throw in the game, but still the same idea. Put the ball in the hole.
We noticed that the last couple of years that, I mean, there would be wholesale changes. I mean, a whole new group of 5 that would come out on the floor, and it was pretty much the same talent level and everything like that. And you guys were never out of a game because of that style of offense. I mean, if you're putting up 80 shots a game and, half of those are threes, you can get right back into a game pretty darn quick.
Yeah, as long as you're hitting shots.
There you go.
If you're not hitting shots, it kind of doesn't look as good. But we also put a lot of emphasis on the defensive end and that stuff too, trying to get steals and force bad passes. And that's where we get our second opportunities and our more possessions. So.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, the season off and running. We've got first-year head coach Josh Walters with Versailles, and here on Lake TV, you will see at least 4 Versailles games this year. We're really looking forward to that. So what did you lose from last year's team?
We lost 5 guys that were pretty important players within our program there at Versailles. Justin Hamrick, about a 6'3", 6'4" kid that could protect the rim, knock down shots. Cole Vebrock, he was quick on the court. He's really good defensively and learned how to shoot it his senior year. Yeah. Eli Goliath, played as a sophomore a little bit, got up and down the floor, big energy guy for us. Adam Radcliffe was the quarterback of the football team, probably the best athlete in the class. We just lost a ton. Cole Wilson, baseball guy. Just a lot of energy, a lot of points.
So who's coming back this year that you're kind of looking to step up and that you're relying on this year?
We got Ryder Williams back. He's going to be a junior. Obviously, everybody knows what he can do. He averaged 29 points a game last year, which is pretty impressive for a sophomore. We got Reese Murdoch, he played as a freshman last year. He's back, looking for
Yeah.
him to make big strides and step up. Once he starts figuring out the offensive side of the game, he's decent defensively, so that works out. We've got Tyrus Ollison. He played a lot. He's played as a freshman.
Yeah.
You know, we were doing that run and gun stuff. He come in the game as a freshman. Mike Vansel, you know, he broke his foot beginning of the season. He's doing physical therapy, trying to get back. We're hoping maybe towards the end of the season he might get some time, but for sure next year, all these guys are juniors and sophomores. Trace Murdoch, he big guy for us last year.
Yeah.
He's seeing his role expand a little bit, which is good for him, and he's been playing well for us. And this summer had a good summer and worked really hard.
Yeah.
Then we have a bunch of guys that are coming up from the JV level. They're trying to figure it out a little bit, just building confidence in them to understand that they can play at that level. And
Absolutely.
all that stuff.
It takes a game or two to figure that out for
yeah.
these kids a lot. Well, and one other thing I noticed is almost all of these kids are underclassmen. I mean, they'll be here this year and another year or two to come.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good for you, Coach.
That's exciting for us, yes. That's exciting for us. I think we got Trace Murdoch as a senior.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll lose him this year. Jackson Gideon's a senior. Michael Kennerly, Logan Kilmer, and Xander Thibodeau. Some of those guys were JV guys last year, now on the varsity level. But yeah, we got 5 seniors that'll be going this year. So
Nice. Okay. So you are joining us here for the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, talking with Versailles head coach Josh Walters. We'll have more with Coach Walters right after this. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Lorry. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Hey everyone, Darryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. The holiday weekend's over, but we're still celebrating here at Slumberland. Come check out the big savings in every department. Mattresses, living room, dining room, we've got it all on sale for a great price. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture at the Lake, where we're bringing happy home.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Visit Surdak Yamaha at Lake of the Ozarks, 50 years strong.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, where you get to see this 3 times a day on Lake TV at 10:02, 2:02, and 6:02. And here during the early part of the season, you'll see a different coach each hour of the day here on Lake TV. So be sure to join us for all of these different shows, 12 different coaches, including first-year head coach Josh Walters at Versailles. So big news breaking here in the last few weeks, Coach, about Versailles deciding to leave the Tri-County Conference. Sooner or later, it could happen, as soon as a year. It might take a couple of years. So I'm guessing for just about everybody involved, there's it's a bittersweet kind of a thing because it's probably going to be good for the program to move into a different conference, but it's tough to leave those ties sometimes.
It is. We've got a lot of basketball people in the town of Versailles, and it's a lot of older basketball people and even some younger ones. The Tri-County Conference means a lot to a lot of people, which it should. We were one of the founding members of the Tri-County Conference, so it should mean a lot to people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think talking about the conference switch, we had a lot of people, asking a lot of questions. And some very valid questions to everybody, whether it be to coaches, to community members, to administration, and those things. But at the end of the day, the vote was made by the school board, and that's what we're going to do, whether it be this year or next year.
Right.
But we always have to think what's the best for our kids.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter athletics, academic, or whatever it may be, but what's the best for our kids.
Yeah.
So.
And in basketball, it's different for football because there's a lot fewer games. But basketball, you'll still be playing the Tri-County Conference teams, a lot of them probably.
Yeah, you were fortunate enough to play scheduled 29 games before districts, and within tournaments and things like that. So we're fortunate enough there that we can schedule some of those Tri-County schools and still play them.
Yeah.
Football, obviously, they only get 10, and half those are conference schools, and they got their non-con and going into their district play. So it's a little bit harder for them. But
so the Tri-County Conference this year, teams to beat. Obviously, Blair Oaks is always pretty strong, pretty good.
They're always pretty good. I also think, Southern Boone, I don't think they lost a whole lot last year. They're going to be a little bit better this year, so I think they're going to be pretty tough. Let's see, Osage is going to get better. Eldon's going to get better. I know Eldon lost a player to Bolivar, but
a really good player.
Yeah, a really good player. I still think they're going to get better and be better. We got, Booneville. Booneville lost quite a bit, but they're still athletic, and they're always athletic, so they'll be tough. Hallsville, obviously, they're always still tough in this conference. The Tri-County is a tough conference, and it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
So.
it really is. And then if you move into a new conference, has it been decided what conference you would move into?
I think it was the Ozark Highland right now.
Okay.
Ozark Highland Conference. That's got Butler, Sherwood, Eldon, El Dorado Springs, I think Fairgrove,
Yeah,
maybe?
I think so too.
Yeah, I think Fairgrove. So.
Right. Okay, so they did not have a Tri-County Conference tournament this year in basketball. I think the last few years they have, which kind of gave you as coaches a good perspective of what you were going to have to deal with that year. You didn't get that this year. Does that make it harder to figure out who you're playing?
I don't think it does, because we see a lot of those teams all the time, whether it be for in other tournaments. Like we're in the Eldon tournament. They're still obviously in that tournament, so we get to see them. I think the conference tournament was a good tournament, but the problem is a lot of those schools that are playing football, like Blair Oaks, their basketball guys weren't there because they're still playing football.
Right, won a state championship.
Yeah, just think about this year. Yeah, they're playing at state championships. If we would have had it, they wouldn't, their starting five might still be playing football. So there's good and bad to that, but those other guys get playing time. But we're not seeing what Blair Oaks is going to be without those guys, so it's not really a thing there. So
what do you love about basketball? Is basketball your favorite sport? Because you played a lot of sports.
My favorite was actually football. I like just the idea of being able to hit somebody. So when I played, I took that idea and tried to use that in basketball too, because I was undersized playing in the post.
Right.
But basketball-wise, I like the idea of, I treat it like chess.
Uh-huh.
You're going to try to block something from me, I'm going to try to take it away from you and use it to my advantage. So I tell kids all the time, while they're playing checkers, let's play chess.
Yeah, but that's what makes a good coach, right? Is you figure out what they're throwing at you and you come up with an answer to counter that, right?
And then when they counter that, we counter it back. So that's kind of the idea. And that's why with football is the same way, it's the offensive coordinators, they see what the defense is doing and try to use that to their advantage. So
do you have to do that a lot during a game as a coach?
Yeah, I think, let's say if you got a player that's being guarded really, really tight, you try to figure out ways to get him open. What can you do backside? What can you do, on the ball to give yourself an advantage, all those things. So you're always constantly looking to see what can we do, those type of things. So.
Well, and how you coach depends upon your kids too. If you got a bunch of trees, then you can play a slower game, but if you got a bunch of short guys, you got to run. Right?
And we don't have trees.
Yeah, there you go.
Be nice if we did, though.
Okay, so there you go. We're getting to know Coach Josh Walters, first-year coach at Versailles, taking over for Jason Ollison. And again, we'll have 4 Versailles games on Lake TV this season. Be sure to join us for high school basketball. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys.